Hello, Detroit. What's up, world? This is your host, Keith Butler, with my co-host, Jeffrey Lowe. Welcome to The Hook. We're coming to you again, as always, from the Six Hole Studio. It's a nice day in Detroit.
A nice day, yes.
A little damp. It rained a little bit last night, not a whole lot, but golfers haven't hit the greens yet. But, man, I need to talk to you. Have you seen this latest thing about Trump allowing South Africans to come in from South Africa here to America?
As refugees.
As refugees. Yeah. Now, wait a minute. Aren't we having an issue already with refugees and immigrants and, you know, people from other countries coming in who are criminals and murderers and rapists and thieves?
And workers.
Right. You know, being in this country. So we got to put up a wall, and then we got to get them out and deport. Aren't we deporting people right now?
Literally, no, we're deplaning them. We're putting them on planes and sending them back to South America or wherever they came from. It's crazy.
Okay, but isn't that kind of defeating the whole purpose of immigration?
Like
anti-immigration? Oh, you know what the problem is?
Oh, maybe it's the color of their skin.
Maybe it's the color of their skin. You think that's got something to do with it?
Hey.
Because as far as I know, everybody who's getting deported tend to be people of a darker shade.
Yes.
You know, the upside of the hand, not the palm. But the upside of the hand. As we like to say.
And they're referring to them as Afrikaners.
South Africans.
No, Afrikaners. I don't like Afrikaners.
Listen.
Not Afrikaners.
Let's call it what it is, Lo.
I'm reading it.
The South Africans, which mean they are white people.
Right.
And you know what's really funny about that? I found interesting is guess who else is South African? Who's real close to Trump?
Tesla.
Not the car itself, but the so-called owner, Elon Musk. South African.
It hurts me, those names.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's why you said Tesla. That should hurt too.
That hurts too.
But isn't that ironic? That we're sitting up here, he campaigned on deportation. That was one of his big campaign promises, deportation. Now, granted, it's only 60 of them, but that's just a start.
Right.
But all I'm saying is that is hypocritical. It's a complete reversal of what you have been campaigning on and talking about all these years. We got to get rid of all these people. There are too many, immigrants here. There are too many murders. But yeah, what was South Africa famous for? Apartheid. Okay? Now, that isn't criminal. And you're bringing people who were part of that structure here. If that's not criminal, though.
And they're being granted refugee status.
They probably already got citizenship. They probably got citizenship on the damn plane over here.
Yeah, they probably was sworn in.
And you know the crazy, you see how quickly that was done? You see, that didn't take a month.
And the biggest
that didn't take 6 months.
How will they be resettled in the United States?
Yeah, you were about to say in Detroit. They're going to probably be sitting right next door to you.
Hey.
Or me.
I almost said it. Didn't come out. But how will they be resettled in the United States? How will they be resettled? I don't understand his agenda with this one.
His agenda is make America white again. And I think one of the issues is that, there is a scare, a myth, I don't know if it's a theory, if it's factual or facts, but they've been saying by the year 2030, 2050, something like that.
The status.
Yeah, white people will no longer be
first class.
A majority. They would be a minority. Almost, they're basically saying there would be no more white people because, everybody's, mixing up with everybody. Blacks, whites and Asians, Asians, blacks. Everybody's
Right.
Crossbreeding. Like my old college professor at Tuskegee told me. He said, Butler. He said, countries may sometimes fight. Countries may sometimes fight, but they'll always make love. And then, when I was young, I didn't get. I said, "What are you talking about, prop?" And he said, "Well, it doesn't matter if you're white or black, if you're Asian or Arabic. If you're in love with somebody, you're gonna have sex.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter who you are, what color, what race you are.
Right.
At some point, somebody from another race will breed with somebody from the opposite race. So whites and blacks and Oriental, Asians and white people. Somebody's gonna mix up. It's gonna play in the blood. That's gonna always happen. Will we always go to war? Not always.
Hey.
So sometimes nations will sometimes fight, but they'll always make love.
And even when we go to war, it happens.
Oh yeah.
When you're over in another country.
Oh yeah. World War II.
Oh man.
Korea, Vietnam.
Yes.
Think about all the little mixed babies that are still left over in those countries from our American soldiers.
Right.
Yeah, we fought a little bit, but we got down too.
Mm-hmm.
So, but this to me is just interesting. It really kind of knocked me back. I'm already sitting down, but it kind of set me down a little bit more. If this doesn't tell people or show people how racist he is, you're going to kick out everybody of color. People who have been living here, people
Working
who
here.
are some of them citizens,
Right.
who've been here 30, 40, 20, 25, 34,
The one guy
40 years.
had a whole family here.
Yeah.
He was snatched from his whole. They're taking people off the streets. They walked. You saw it on the news.
Going
I'm
into
quite
their
sure.
houses.
Going into in their houses, taking them off college campuses, just because they write articles on certain issues that.
But aren't we supposed to have freedom of the speech?
Yes, this is America. It's America.
It used to be America.
And they're taking people off the streets and shipping them back to countries that they don't want to be in anymore.
What countries they weren't even. Some of these people have been born here.
Yeah, right. They've been born right here in America.
Man, if this isn't Hitler 2025, I don't know what it is.
Nah.
He's trying to come up with a superior race. He's looking up and said, there's not going to be a whole lot more white people here. We're dwindling. We're fading. We got to get some people in here. And what's the best? Who could be any better? Except white South Africans who already got a history of hating black people.
And apartheid and racism. Yeah. And then it's even crazier than that. I mean, when you look at it even deeper, especially with the repopulating of America and the freedoms that they didn't supposedly had, because they're complaining about the black rule of the country, which at one time was ruled by an entire white race, and
Forever.
right, and then the black population rose into power and ended up, with Mandela and other black power brokers and leaders, and now the whites feel that they no longer belong in the. They're no longer.
No, I think what the thing is it's kind of like when Coleman Young became mayor of the city of Detroit.
Everybody hit 8 Mile, huh?
Before Coleman was here, you remember Stress, keep our streets safe and all that, and the Big Four.
Yes.
It was still a very, very racist police force that took a lot of trouble to make sure that black people caught hell.
Right.
And so when Coleman came in, he said, look, I'm not going to get rid of all the white guys, but we're going to make this 50-50. Because before Coleman, you might see what, 2, 3, 4 black police officers in the whole force?
Mm-hmm.
So when Coleman came in, he said, okay, we're going to at least make it 50-50. Same with the fire department, same with the city of Detroit officials and employees. It's not going to just be a completely white-run government anymore. It's going to at least be 50-50. So what happens is the people who are in charge all this time, white Detroiters got scared and figured, oh, Lord, have mercy. The black folks in charge, he's going to mistreat us like we mistreat them. So we got to get out.
And they got out.
Before that happens.
They sure enough got out.
This is the same thing that's going on in South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Black Africans have taken control and are starting to, run the country the way they see fit. White people can't take it over there.
Right.
And they're afraid. And they may have a good reason. Because I
may have a good reason.
I've heard some things, I'm sure some of the brothers is like, okay, we're going to get a little payback. I don't know if that's true.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised either. That is Africa.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Beautiful country. Never been there. But I wouldn't be surprised if some of the brothers said, okay, time for a little payback. And now these white people are saying, we got to get out of here. That's why Trump is talking about, the white farmers are being killed and being harassed. We don't know if that's true, especially coming from him, because he'll lie, looking at you, looking away from you, looking up, looking down, looking in front of you, looking behind you, looking left and looking right. Everything that comes out his mouth is damn near a lie. So whether these white people are farmers who came over, I don't know. Whether there's some truth about these farmers being harassed and murdered and attacked, I don't know. But the only thing I'm really ticked off about right now is that he's doing for them what he won't do for people of color.
Mm-hmm.
He's bringing them in and kicking people of color out. That MAGA stuff, Make America Great Again, let's tell it what it is.
Make America
white again. It should have been MAWA. Make America white again. MAWA.
MAWA.
And that's what it's about.
Put that on your hat.
The craziest thing is, anyway, that's a whole nother story, Everything we putting on tariffs for all the countries, especially China and stuff, and half the stuff we get comes from China.
TV.
China.
The Rodecaster Pro.
China. Probably.
This microphone.
Probably China.
Your telephone. China.
Yeah, well, we know
your
that.
Your chips in your telephone. China.
Probably. I don't know if it's all
I had
factual.
Chinese food yesterday.
Well, that was down the block in Detroit. I don't think that came from China.
The soy
Maybe
sauce.
the ideal of China. It and how to cook it and the recipes came from China. But that was cooked here in Detroit.
We have a very large population of Chinese folks in Madison Heights. The community is growing. They have supermarkets out there that's just straight Chinese.
Well, we're in such debt to Asia. I keep telling people we should quit calling it the United States of America and call it the United States of Asia.
Well, they own all the big property,
and they own all our debt.
Yeah,
we owe them so much money. It's stupid. But this thing just irks me, Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
It irks me. Your biggest promise to all these Americans who think all these Mexicans and Latinos and so forth are taking their jobs. Well, we're going to stop that. We're going to get rid of them. We're going to stop bringing them in.
Right.
Because not only are they taking your job, not only are they, rapists and murderers, they're just doing away. They're ruining the typical American economy, the American culture, the American way of life. We got to get rid of them and stop all of that. But on the other hand, I'm going to bring in all these white people who are known to come from a racist society. Basically, I'm bringing in the Proud Boys. I'm bringing in some backup.
Some recruits.
You're about to make me cuss. I gave up cussing for Lent, and I've been doing pretty good not cussing.
Well, that's good.
But I'm about to get back on it.
Man. Well, that guy can make you cuss. He can make you cuss. And I understand exactly what you mean, though, with with what's going on in America.
It's nonsense.
It's just crazy. And you know, and the thing that's really crazy is like our leadership. Nobody's speaking up, seems to be, for some reason. There's no, you know, I mean, yeah, we got our little podcast. We spit out our little knowledge, what we know,
So what we think, how we feel.
Right. But, you know, it seems like none of where are the Sharptons and all those folks who used to have the big voice for our community and for the black community, and nobody's saying anything, you know. Even Obama. Obama's not saying anything.
I don't think that's necessarily true. I think there have been black leaders who have spoken out. We just don't hear it as much as we used to.
We don't hear it, right.
Because every time he does one thing stupid and people are drawn to that, he does something else to deflect from what he just did. So then people are attacking this one issue, then he starts another issue, and then they shift over.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always being deflated and watered down. So you really can't concentrate on the first problem, because as soon as you attack the first problem, the second problem starts up, a third problem and stuff. So we're spread out. He's doing a great job, and I hate to say it, but he's doing a good job of dividing and conquer, and keeping us confused and not knowing which way to go.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem I have, like, to piggyback on what you just said, is that why aren't the politicians doing anything?
Right.
And I wonder, what does he have on them? Because you know it's not right. It's like this $400 million plane that he's getting from where? Qatar? Is that how you pronounce it?
Qatar, yeah.
Qatar? I don't know. But he's talking about he wants that because Air Force One is outdated and it's not comfortable and all that. Air Force One's been around forever. And all of a sudden it's not good enough for your monkey?
It's updated.
You're behind?
Every 4 years it's updated.
Yeah.
You know, that is you're not going to have our president flying around in a garbage plane.
It's been reliable.
Right.
It's been safe.
Yes.
And like you said, every time a new president comes in, they probably take out all the old stuff and put in new stuff.
Yeah.
And it gets checked out on a regular basis. But now he wants to get this $400 million plane. Luxury airline.
Yeah. I've seen it.
You know.
And I'm like, whoa. You know,
but a president isn't supposed to take a dog as a gift.
He can't take gifts.
He can't get a rescue dog as a gift.
From billionaires in other countries. I mean, this oil-rich country.
Yeah.
You know, come on, man. You know, I'm wondering if all this is happening to keep him in power for another 4 years.
Well, the problem with that, Jeff, is that he's not looking for another 4 years. He's looking until he dies. He's trying to make the presidency like the Supreme Court, a lifelong position. Because remember, he said when you vote for me, you never have to vote again. That's why there was that whole protest about America doesn't have kings. He's trying to become a king. You know, and if he becomes king, then it trickles down. We get a royal family, and you know how royalty goes. It goes from the king to the oldest son.
Right.
And who wants another Trump in office?
No.
One of his children.
I mean, I just can't.
Don't want this one in office.
I can't see that happening.
Oh, I don't think it will, but that's the whole ideal. Mm-hmm. That's why he's trying to destroy the Constitution. You know?
Right. We live in some messed up times, folks.
I don't know how you all feel about it. I'm sorry, Jeff. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I don't know how our listeners feel about it, but this is just twisted. You kick out one group of people, and then you bring in another group. Come on. Could you imagine kicking out white Americans, and then all of a sudden bringing in Latinos and Mexicans and Black Americans from Africa? From Africa. That wouldn't fly. If any other president, not even Obama, if any other Democratic president,
Tried this.
I think if any other Republican president had tried the stuff that he's doing,
Oh, man. It wouldn't have flew. Congress, Senate, the American government had an uprising. They're like, wait a minute.
Supreme Court.
Right. You can't do this.
But it's funny that he's trying to do it.
No, it's
I don't-
crazy that it's happening, that he's doing it.
Well, it hasn't gotten done yet. And there are some things I will give government, the Congress and Senate and the judicial system some credit for. They are stopping some things.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that bothers me again is that they let him get as far as he gets. Nip it in the bud, man.
And he's already pissed off a great deal of his supporters. And like you said, with the lies that's being told and spread around, a lot of his supporters are beginning to turn on him. Like, wait a minute, we didn't ask for this,
Mm.
And then just the other day, when he's over in Qatar, who shows up? Musk. Like, why are you there, first buddy? What business do you have there now?
Well, now, Lo, there is some question about who's really the president. Is
it the first buddy?
it the first buddy or is it, the walking tangerine? There's some questions.
Because I really don't know who the vice president is. Well, I can't.
We know who the vice president is. He's a dumb butt too. But
Right. I don't even know his name. I can't even say his name. I don't even know his name. I can't remember his name.
Are you serious?
I'm
or are you
serious.
just being funny?
No, I'm not being funny.
J.D. Vance.
Okay.
I apologize for saying that.
I couldn't remember his name.
He's forgettable.
Yeah.
He's forgettable. I don't blame you for forgetting him. He's forgettable.
Hey.
And, he's, to me, he's doing just what a vice president does. Absolutely nothing but acts a fool and kisses the tangerines behind. This is the worst display of presidency ever.
Mm-hmm.
The worst display of leadership ever.
I totally have to agree with you.
And he doesn't even care.
We've never seen anything like it.
He doesn't care. I can't see how you can be so brash and so bold that your whole campaign is about putting up a wall and deportation, and you turn the F around. I'm trying, man. I've been doing pretty well since Lent. But you turn around and then you bring in
white South Africans. What? That don't even sound right.
And like you said, they're probably already citizens. They probably already been granted, citizenship. Or maybe these are some of them who paid for that $5 million gold card to become citizens.
Dang.
And you get your citizenship and your green card and
He's
all that.
probably got something out the deal. We know that. He's the guy that brokers all the deals. And he's about to broker the United States away. Because it ain't over yet. It's just starting. Everything is just starting in this administration.
And that's a scary thing.
Right.
He's done all of this within the first 100 days. And we still got 3 years to go.
Right.
I hope
Incredible.
all you Trump voters are feeling the effects of what he's doing. Because what you didn't understand was you thought it wasn't going to happen to you. You thought it was going to happen to somebody else. Oh, all that junk he's talking about, deportation, job loss, Social Security loss, DEI, medical insurance loss.
Surprise.
Oh, that's not going to happen to me.
Surprise.
I look like the bottom of your hand, palms up.
Right.
It's going to happen to the people who look like the top of our hands, the darker shade, people of color. Oh, Trump's going to look out for us. Trump don't care about you. He don't care about you. You know, effed around. You know, effed around and found out.
Yep.
F-A-F-O. F around and find out. I'm sitting here, you know, I haven't been one who's big on, you know, videos on the internet and stuff, but lately I find myself getting caught in a rabbit hole and going down that hole for hours at a time. But you sit there and you see one Trump supporter after another crying and complaining. You see one white farmer after another
and complaining, and you were the
losing
guy
their farm.
You were the guy in the voter's box pulling that lever for
the tangerine. Crazy thing is, you know, Latinos and stuff, where are the black people now? Where are the black people? Why aren't they helping us? We did our part.
Right.
We told y'all not to vote for him, and we voted against him. Well, most of us did.
Right.
You know, there's some black men for Trump.
It was just a small group that didn't.
But most of us, we didn't support that clown.
Nah.
You all did. Now you're getting your butts kicked out. Your relatives are being taken. And, you know, one of the craziest things about that, Jeff, is you hear Latinos talking about, well, they say, well, what do you think's going to happen? What if we deport some of your relatives? Well, that's okay. They didn't come in the right way, or, you know, they should learn how to do. What kind of crap is that?
Right way.
What kind of crap is that? You probably didn't get here the right way.
Right. They must have jumped the fence, huh? Did they jump the fence? Did they leap the fence? Did they come through the hole in the fence? They didn't come in the right way.
Whether they came here the right way or not, those are still your people.
Right.
Don't turn your back. But they're mad at us because we're not supporting them. We did our job. Like I said, most of us did.
Yeah.
We didn't vote for that clown. We told you not to vote for him. He told you what he was going to do.
And he's doing it.
Broke it down. Gave you a playlist. Project 2025.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He has the playbook in his hand right now.
And y'all drank the Kool-Aid.
Page by page. He's going right by the book.
Drank the Kool-Aid with extra sugar. Everybody gonna have sugar diabetes when this is over. The old black folks used to say in the country, "Baby, you got the sugar." Everybody gonna have the sugar, baby.
Oh.
And guess what? When you get the sugar, ain't gonna be no medical insurance. You can go get it taken care of.
Man, you ain't joking about that. We just took your insurance.
You got the sugar? I'm sorry, baby. There's no hope for it.
Right. No more Medicare. No more Medicaid.
You know, and one of the things that scares me about this, outside of this new influx of white Americans, I guess you can call them. I just got Medicare and Social Security. I'm afraid I'm going to have to go back to work, man. I just retired.
Look.
I'm about to lose all my benefits because of this clown and because of the idiots that voted for him.
Right.
Well, Jeff, anyway.
Hey.
We're kicking out people of color and bringing in white South Africans. Mm-hmm. I don't know how y'all feel about it.
And they're getting benefits, too. Once they get here, they're going to get all those benefits. Hey, food stamps. The other day, I'm dialing the number on my EBT card. Yes, I got an EBT card.
See, we're talking to two guys who are retired and unemployed and trying to make ends meet.
When I got to please press 1, clink. Please enter your number. 0. I'm like, what? I had to go to that office, man. Like, wait a minute. I never used the card today. I never used the card the last month. Where's my...
Look, I feel you, man. I'm on pins and needles every week. Every month. Am I going to get my check?
man. I'm like, well, hold on, wait a minute. My EBT card is zeroed out. And I hadn't used it yet.
Well, that's what happens when we vote for the wrong people. You got somebody who is totally qualified and you don't want them because she's black or she's a woman. You got somebody who's an idiot who does nothing but bankrupt everything he's done, and he's nothing but a TV personality. Well, I guess they said we had Ronald Reagan. Why not? But that's it for today, y'all. I got nothing else to talk about. I hope y'all don't mind me venting a little bit.
He's venting.
I'm pissed off, man.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Kicking out all the black folk and people of color and bringing in white South Africans. Think about it. It doesn't just affect us like the vote didn't just affect us. It affects everybody. I'm Keith Butler and my co-host, Jeff Lowe. We'd like to say thank you again for listening to The Hook. And you all be safe. Pray for us, America. Pray for America. Pray for yourselves. We'll talk to you later. Peace.